Today on Dr. Phil, we're going to answer your questions.
Dr. Phil, my husband can't finish anything.
No running water in the bathroom? Whoa, whoa! I shook y'all's hands when you came up here. Oh, buddy, you are in a lot of trouble.
Enough is enough.
Take her somewhere she wants to go, somewhere with plumbing. You got some help now. You got me. Nothing is out of the question. Nothing is too weird.
Hello, Dr. Phil.
This one may be close. This is beyond the ridiculous. Coming up. Let's do it. I want you to get excited about your life. If you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to be honest. This is going to be a changing day in your life. How you doing, guys? All right, all right. All right. Well, don't suck up now. You guys think you got the good seats right here, don't you? All right, well, we're going to have some fun today and talk about some things that are meaningful. When you guys know, you've seen me before on Oprah, we had something that we called Ask Dr. Phil Day. Well, that's what we're doing today. You guys seem to kind of like that. So we're going to answer your questions today. So it was a lot of fun when I did it, so I said, let's just keep doing it. So here we are today, and our first question, you're going to love. I've received hundreds of thousands of letters. I cannot tell you, but let me say, we read them all. We absolutely read them all. Nothing you might ask is out of the question. Nothing is too weird. One of my first guests, Barbara, has a very common question, how to get her husband to tackle that famous honey-do list. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Phil. I want you to come in and see my mess. My husband will not finish anything in my house. 10 years ago, my husband built this beautiful ceiling for me, but he left out one board. Dr. Phil, he had to consciously choose not to put that board in here. Another board missing. And what does he have against light fixtures? Look what I have for a doorknob. At least I have it better than my daughter.
Doorknob? I don't have a door. I've never had a door.
1994 is when this water stain occurred. 8 years and we're still living with it. Dr. Phil, the outside is no better. He built this garage 4 years ago and he still didn't put the garage doors on. We've had $1,000 worth of things stolen, and you wouldn't believe the roof. 12 years ago, he started putting siding on the house. He just never finished. The porch ceiling, forget about it. It's been left undone so long the birds have moved in. Yet another live wire just hanging out. This is embarrassing, and it's driving me nuts. Dr. Phil, I just want to know why my husband can't finish anything.
What is up with that? Now, what's your job, by the way?
I'm actually in the Carpenters Union.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about that Carpenters Union since I came to L.A. I fully understand what you're saying. No, they've done a great job here. But so what is up with this?
It seems that from the beginning to the middle I'm good, and then when it comes to finish that last piece of trim, that last little thing, it seems like it gets pushed off. It seems that it's easier for me to start something else than it is to finish what I need to finish.
And that's a problem with you.
I have one board above my bed. One board that's just not done. It's just there.
Would that be a yes?
Yeah.
You get that? That's a problem with her. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You get that. I love what you're doing with your hair, by the way. You got that.
Oh, thank you.
You got that worked out. Love that. You did finish that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mid-project myself on that, but you seem to have got it covered. But why do you not finish something? Because let me tell you, when you finish nothing, that's no mistake. It's kind of like I was talking to somebody on the show recently about being late. If you're late every time, you got to work at it. You'd be on time just by accident, occasionally, right? And that's the same way with you. You don't ever finish anything at home, right?
No, I didn't finish some.
Oh, really?
No, okay.
So we got all the time in the world. Let's make that list.
He finished the wallpaper.
All right, well, I want to go back over this. Let's look at what you didn't finish again, because I had to make a list for us. So can we have the list?
Do we have the time date for that? Do we have
What?
I'll tell you the times.
I'll ask the question.
All right. But that's the interesting.
Whoa, slow down. All right. First, expose wires for 13 years, right? Now, wouldn't you think in 13 years you'd get a minute? Expose sheetrock 13 years, siding incomplete 10 years, boards on the roof 10 years, bedroom ceiling 10 years, no running water in the bathroom for, whoa, stop the press. No running water in the bathroom for 10 years?
Well,
The faucet's there. He just never connected the water to the faucet. So the sink is there in the faucet, but there's no water.
I shook y'all's hands when you came up here.
Stayed in the hotel.
Okay, you were in a hotel last night? Now, really, what is up with no running water in the bathroom for 10 years?
Barb sees all the things that I haven't finished,
Yeah.
but there's a whole Sears catalog of things that, you know, second story addition, this and that. I mean,
But he just won't finish them. He'll build the garage, and he chose not to put shingles on a 4-foot by like 8-foot section. The whole roof is rotted out now.
Okay.
So it's a choice.
Okay, that's just an example, right? You got to tell me, you're roofing the house, right? You built the garage, you put it in there, you got electricity in there, you got all the siding on? No, not all the siding on. You got all the roof on except a 4x4 patch. Why did you stop with 4-foot by 4-foot to go?
Must have been hot that day.
Oh, buddy. You are in a lot of trouble here. No, I mean, honestly, what did you say to yourself? You're getting it all done? Because, I mean, don't you guys, when you're doing something, it's like painting a black wall white or a white wall black, you like to see it finish, and then it just goes zip, zip, zip and closes up. What did you say to yourself on the roof that day? You get down, it's a 4-foot square, and you say, well, I'll just get back to this in 11 years.
Because we have the shingles. So that's some of the excuses.
Okay, you got the shingles, you got the nails, you got the hammers, you got the ability. You just decide not to do it.
Oh, you just always shoving it off to the next day. You know, man, the sun will come out tomorrow.
But 10 years?
Well, it's one day leads to a week, and a week turns into a month. And so on and so on.
Yeah, sure does. Does it strike you odd that you don't finish anything?
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think about that? I mean, what do you
I don't know why.
do you want a clue? I mean,
I'm not sure.
if I had a theory, would you want to hear it?
Sure.
Because I don't know. I mean, I just met you, but I mean, this is an egregious list here. I mean, you got to admit that's an over-the-top list.
Oh, yeah, man. You sum it all up, and man, it looks like I'm, Tilda Hunn. Yeah.
No. I'm not saying it makes you look like you're a mean person. It just makes you look irresponsible and like a procrastinator. People get in these situations of a creative job, doing something that they, put themselves into. An awful lot of time, people don't want to finish something because if it's done, then they say, okay, that's it, that's my best deal. And one of two things worry them. Number one, they think, well, now it's done so people can judge it. It's finished, that's your best shot. They can judge it, they can criticize it, and it's awful easy to just not finish. So you can always say, well, gee, I'm not finished. And then some people don't finish things because it's kind of like, all right, I'm done, I got nothing left to do. It's like I always want something left to do. I want something out there for me to do. So, I mean, do you think you might fear judgment and criticism about what you're doing, or you think you just might feel like, gee, I need something in front of me left to do? Those are two theories. Pick one.
I have started to hate our little house.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, in all honesty, is that instead of a nice home, I tend to feel that it's just an outlandish burden. that because I always have them in the utility belt on 5 days a week, sometimes six days a week. And then for this house, this quaint little cottage, to seem to just ask me for all my time, for all my work, this, that.
But you didn't feel that way 10 years ago when you didn't finish the roof.
Stupid.
13 years ago when you didn't hang the door.
No, stupid-wise, when I just dove into it, oh, honey, we can fix this up, and we can this, and we can that. And then after, man, the reality set on me, it was just like, man, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work.
Well, let me tell you, this is something guys don't get, and I don't care that we're in a 70% double income society now where women work outside the home as much as the men do, but let me tell you something. The home is the woman's domain. Women are born nesters, and you are messing with the nest. Mm-hmm. You are messing with the nest, buddy. And I look at what people do instead of what they say, and what am I supposed to say to her? I look at this list and say, well, it's obvious he just loves you and wants you to be comfortable. I mean, that's not what she's going to conclude from this. If you don't like the house, get out. Mm-hmm. But finish the one you're in. Yeah. I mean, or do something, because he's driving you crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And if it's gotten to be such a burden you just don't even want to touch it anymore, then call the realtor.
Oh, there's what I told her today. It's like, honey, let's just sell the place, take a little bit of a loss, whatever, and just get out, move on.
But you know what? You finish things when you're getting paid for it, don't you? Mm-hmm. You finish things at work because they say finish or you don't get paid, right? Mm-hmm. So if that house is going to be sold, which means you're going to get paid for putting that board up there, maybe that'll change your mind. Deal?
Deal.
All right, good deal. In just a minute, one of the funniest men in America, Jay Leno, has a question for me, and it's no joke.
I have a theory, and you can tell me whether you agree or disagree.
Okay, you're asking the questions today, and my friend Jay Leno has a serious one he wants me to weigh in on. Take a look.
Hello, Dr. Phil. My comment isn't so much a question. I have a theory, and you can tell me whether you agree or disagree. See, I think happiness is a privilege, not a right. I know a lot of people are depressed because they think they're supposed to be happy all the time. But happiness is an occasional thing. Like if it's Wednesday and you're not happy, well, you're not supposed to be happy. It's Wednesday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are the days that you're happy. You see, I think if you're happy all the time, then you're never really happy. So it should be something you look forward to. So my question to you is, do you think happiness is a right or a privilege?
Jay, Jay, what am I going to do with you, boy? What do you mean you're not supposed to be happy on Wednesday? And he's serious. You believe that. I know you believe that. You're listening. You believe that. And the answer is it's neither. It's not a right or a privilege. Being happy is a choice. I mean, it's a choice. I mean, don't you guys agree? Being happy is a choice, and what you've got to do is expand your definition. Now, what Jay's talking about is he's one of the hardest working guys in Hollywood. I guarantee you. You see him on the Tonight Show, and you think he just comes in there for an hour and talks to the flavor of the week, you know, whoever's cute that week and all. But the truth is, he's there every morning at 8 o'clock. He works till 5. He works his tail off putting that show together and all. So he's saying, how can you be happy when you're in there working? Well, one is you got the easiest job in America. And secondly, you've got to expand your definition. Sometimes we think that being happy is just giggling and having fun. But aren't you happy a lot when you've done a good day's work and you're proud of it? You have a good tired, you have a sense of fulfillment and a sense of fullness because you're living your authentic self. And so it's not always giggling and happy, but you can be happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's all about doing what you want and working for what you want instead of working for what you don't want. So, Jay, I hope that helps. Be happy on Wednesday. We need to know that you are, you know. We need to know. Because we're laughing and watching. We need to know that you're happy. Well, I received a letter from a husband in the doghouse over the family pet. Kelly says it's us or the dog, but Dean says he can't get rid of man's best friend.
Dr. Phil, my husband is ruining our marriage over this dog. Scooter is very aggressive, and I do not want him here anymore. I'm afraid of him, and I fear for my daughter.
Good job. Scooter is my best friend. He's like a child to me.
Good boy.
My wife says he bit my daughter on the hand. I say that he nipped her.
He growls at her. He has bit her, and I do not trust this dog.
I think that he's very aggressive, but he's not a danger to our family.
He has attacked several people in the neighborhood. He has bit 2 other children. He has attacked me several times, and I think he needs to be put to sleep.
I say move the dog outside. My wife has given me the ultimatum of either the dog goes or the dog and I both go. Dr. Phil, what can I do to save my marriage and to save my dog?
Okay. Now, first, let's be sure. We don't have any disagreement about the safety of the child, right?
Right.
I mean, you agree. You just disagree whether the dog is a danger, right?
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel that he is overly aggressive, and there's no doubt about it. And we have to keep him away from my daughter until she gets old enough to realize that when he gives a warning sign, like a growl or a snarl.
Even when she gets older, he can't be trusted. He can never be trusted, this dog.
Okay, now this dog has you say bitten, you say nipped at. I mean, teeth and skin seems to me to kind of be the key elements here. The dog has chomped down on your daughter, right?
Right.
Okay, you don't dispute that?
No, we dispute how to say it. I say bit, he says nip.
Okay, well, that's what I say. Let's take the semantics out of it.
Right.
If you got dog teeth on your skin, that's an event. We'll just
Yes.
call that a dog encounter. How's that?
That sounds good.
And the dog has encountered some other children in the neighborhood as well, right?
Yes.
And how many of those encounters have there been?
There's been 2 since he's been born.
Okay, and what happened?
The child was down in the dog's face near the dog, and he just nipped at his face.
Okay, so bit at the face, or
Yes.
encountered the face.
Encountered the face.
Okay, all right, and you love the dog, right?
Yes, I do. He's
Okay.
he's just like a kid to me. He really.
Yeah, but now project ahead. Project ahead. If you got a phone call someday, you've gone to the store or something, and you get a phone call and your wife says, we're on the way to the ER, the dog has bitten into her ear and it's bleeding all over the place, how are you going to feel?
The dog would then be put down. I mean, if that was something.
My point is, why wait until then to put the dog down? We know the dog is aggressive. He needs to be taken care of now before he does hurt someone.
Okay, so what's your question for me? What do you...
My question is, I'm trying to compromise. The dog has always been a house dog.
Right.
My wife doesn't want to even discuss a compromise. We have a big fenced-in yard. I gladly will make the dog an outdoor dog.
And you say that's not good enough?
No, because I feel like we're taking the problem from inside and moving it outside. My 2-year-old daughter doesn't understand that she can't pet this dog.
But no 2-year-old does. I mean, it could be any dog. Could be.
And this dog has also jumped on you before, right?
This dog has attacked me pretty much. And you saw in the tape, every time I reach for this dog, he snarls and his teeth go up and he stiffens.
Well, he probably knows you're trying to off him.
I'm afraid
you
of
know?
it. Well, exactly.
He's out there listening, trying to dump me. Take her out first chance I get. Ruh-roh. All right, now, but I mean, seriously, and I know this is not a joking matter to you about putting the dog to sleep.
No.
And I'm a dog lover. I mean, I've had beagles from the time I can remember. I got 2 beagles now, 2 cats. I'm an animal lover of the worst way. Mm-hmm. But I want to tell you something. To me, if it comes down to child safety, this isn't even a close call. I think you absolutely have to take that dog away from your daughter, not some of the time, all of the time. And I'll tell you what happened, and you know this happened. You didn't socialize that dog properly when it was a pup.
Yes.
And dogs begin to get a sense of superiority. They think they can do what they want to do. And I'm not saying this is some evil Cujo or something that's going to trap you guys in the garage someday. But listen, and I deal with human behavior, not like dog behavior. So I actually, just to be sure I felt right about this, I contacted an animal behaviorist and I contacted an experienced vet. Gave him the situation and didn't tell him how I felt about it. Said, what do you think? And both of them independently said, that dog is a clear and present danger to this child, and it's not going to be fixed with a couple of weeks of obedience school. The dog can be socialized, but it's not going to be short term, and it's not going to be fixed by a dog pen or a fence. Do you need to put the dog to sleep? They said, absolutely not. But this dog needs to be relocated to a farm or somewhere that you can see them, and you can get another dog and socialize it with your children. But they agree with me, it is a clear and present danger. And when I see a situation like this, my attitude is always, it takes 2 yeses and 1 no when it comes to something as important as your child's safety. You either both have to agree, and if either disagree, then the child's safety has to come first. I wish I could tell you differently, but I'm not just giving you my opinion. They say the dog is a clear and present danger. It's not worthy of being put to sleep, but it needs to be relocated.
Right.
So I wish I had better answer for your question.
That's a great answer
but
for me.
I figured you would like that. I mean, consider what I'm saying, okay? Next, a wife who says her husband's hobby is out of control. This takes reading in bed to a whole new level. Today is the day our audience get to ask me anything and everything. No question is too weird. Well, this one may be close, actually. Paula says her husband's book collection belongs in the library, not in their bed.
I call my husband a bookaholic.
We have something like 4,000 to 5,000 books.
He buys them behind my back. He hides receipts. There are books everywhere. We have books in every single room.
I told my dad that my room's a book-free zone, but you know what? He's already infiltrated the upstairs. Just like I said, books everywhere.
The pièce de résistance has been the books now on the bed. He sleeps smack in the middle of the bed, and I get pretty much what's left over. It certainly doesn't make for the most romantic of conditions.
Most wives look for lipstick on the collar, and my wife looks for bookstore bags.
I was kind of hoping that Dr. Phil could see it and say, okay, this is beyond the ridiculous.
This is beyond the ridiculous. Okay? There you go. We're good now? Now, what's up with this?
I just enjoy learning, and I enjoy science. I work very much as a scientist, and I just enjoy learning all I can about scientific subjects, or even history and economics.
Okay, so you've read all these books?
No. Many of them are reference books, and I cross-reference among them. I do use most all of them.
Okay, but now, you're not going to convince me. I mean, that all sounded very scholastic. But you're not going to convince me that it seems reasonable to you that a third of your bed is piled up with books because there was nowhere else to put them.
Well, that is not reasonable, and that's what toggled her over the edge, I think. That was actually, she went away for a weekend.
That toggled her over the edge.
Right. That's why you think
you
got
have a
your
book
email.
on wife toggling?
Yes, I do, actually.
All right.
It's your book, actually.
But you can keep that one. I saw that one there. It's in there somewhere. I thought.
But you know, I'm a propeller and beanie kind of guy, and I'm a nerd, and I'm proud. I believe nerds should have affirmative action status. And, I'm not apologetic for loving learning, and I don't think it's all bad.
I'm not. Hey, listen, ain't nobody talking bad about learning here. Don't get up on that soapbox, buddy. I've read more books than I'd ever want to think about, but I don't stack them on the bed where my wife's got to stand up and sleep. I mean, what do you think that's reasonable?
No, I don't.
Okay, so what do we got to do to get you to do something different?
I think basically this whole exercise is going to get them off the bed.
What would you say if you knew that while you were here, we had a camera crew at your home and took every book out of there?
Where do you live, buddy?
What would you do? Like go take Barnes and Noble hostage or something?
Yeah, that sounds
until you
about
got
right.
your books back? All right, we didn't do that. Okay. You're all right. You're all right. We didn't go to your house and get your books, but I thought about it. But I didn't want all those books, so I didn't know where to put them. But I mean, honestly, there's a point at which you say a hobby becomes so consuming. I mean, if these were women's shoes, we'd be talking about a fetish here, you know, but instead it's books, so that's the moral high ground. But there's a point at which you just get to where you accumulate so many books that it becomes over the top, don't you think?
Yeah.
And what are you, what?
Well, maybe it's a little bit much, but I figured Thomas Jefferson had 13,000 when he died, and I'm roughly on track to match him. And
Yeah?
That's sort of where I'm
He had
trying
a
to go.
48,000 square foot house.
Oh, I doubt it.
All right, and let me ask you, you're sitting there grinning like a possum because you think this is going pretty well, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with you that you're allowing this to happen? Why are you not getting the books off the bed and saying, you're not going to put books on the bed? You either have the books in the bed or me in the bed. You don't get both. So move the books. Why are you not standing up for yourself here?
I do stand up for myself as much as I can, but I think that he
does.
I mean, he'll get angry. I mean, if I move I'm not allowed to move those books. Or if they fall over, if a stack falls over, he gets really angry.
You know that book that was there called Relationship Rescue? Okay. There's a chapter in there on negotiating a plan you can both be excited about. This plan is going to include some balance. It's going to include some boxes. It's going to include a storage building. It's going to include some things that allow you to have the things you value and allows you to have your house back. I keep saying you guys are messing with the nest. Negotiate something. There's nothing wrong with having a thirst for knowledge, but come on. I mean, you're intruding on her space, and it's making you, and it's bugging you, right?
It does. It bugs me.
Okay.
And we've tried negotiating, but he always, it's like, you know, you give him an
got a
inch, he
convertible
takes
out
a
of it.
mile. You know, I got a convertible.
Hey,
He got
hey,
5
hey,
bookcases.
Hey. You teach people how to treat you, okay? You need to stand your ground and start the negotiation over because you got some help now. You got me, all right? And I'm going to help you. And he's a willing spirit. He's a willing spirit. All right, coming up, a woman forced to join the Boy Scouts in order to spend time with her husband. Scouts honor, I didn't make this one up. She joined the troop so she could see her family. Giving you a chance to ask me anything you want. It's Ask Dr. Phil Day. My next guest wrote to me saying that her family's whole life revolves around the Boy Scouts, and she says she's had it with this troop.
I love my husband and 2 boys, but our whole life revolves around the Boy Scouts. Every year, my birthday, Mother's Day, even our anniversary is spent with the troop. I would like the boys to get involved in some cultural activities, like a museum, but all of our vacations and extra money are spent on scouting. In order to be a part of their lives, I had to join the troop. I love spending time with them, Dr. Phil, but can you help me light a fire under them to do anything I want to do? Something for me?
Okay, you guys stand up first. We got to get these outfits here. All right, give them a hand for these outfits. Now, let me say, I love the Scouts. I mean, I've been kicked out a long time ago. But I really did.
Come
No,
back.
I got into the Cub Scouts. I talked my mother into being the den mother, and then I got kicked out the second week. And I had to sit in the den while she held the meetings out in the garage. We were throwing rocks at cars, and we had our little wee blower, whatever they were, things on. So, do you guys enjoy this?
Yeah.
You have fun?
Yep.
Yeah? So, do you like it at all?
Well, it's a wonderful thing, but, you know, enough is enough.
Yeah? So what's up, Dad? I mean, because let me tell you, when Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And she's telling you, because didn't I get, we do a lot of research on you guys before you get here. And weren't you saying every Mother's Day? I mean, what was the one you had 50-mile-an-hour winds and porta potties? What was this?
Mother's Day.
Mother's
We
Day.
are in Dorchester, Canada, with 3,500 scouts. My Mother's Day dinner was at McDonald's on the way back from Canada. The tent fell down. It rained. It was so cold. And there's no showers, and there's porta potties. And let me tell you, 3,500, and most of them are men and boys. It's not a nice thing in those porta potties.
Okay, well, what, I mean, really, what is the deal here? Have you not noticed that she doesn't want to do this every day of her life?
Yes.
I mean, here she is on national TV. This is her big shot. Get a close-up. Okay, get a close-up here. And she's in a scouting uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so tired of khaki.
I mean, really, do you notice that this is not okay? She wants some balance here?
Yes, we've been working on that. But let's step back
we'll
one
get
step
Chuck
back.
to help you work on this.
Well, you also have to realize, like the Canadian thing, that schedule, that's something that's scheduled every year at that time. I have no control of certain scheduling events. Now, if you want me to volunteer
What, is
more...
this your victim story? You have no control over it?
No, I have some control, but
In fact, even when it doesn't involve the boys, don't you volunteer for extra stuff?
Oh, some, yeah.
So it's not just that you're wanting to do this with your boys, you're actually volunteering for extra stuff.
Yes,
That's what you're telling us.
yes.
And that's not okay with you.
Well, he just called me about 2 weeks ago and says, guess what? The American Chemistry Society is having a science day at our local children's museum, and I've signed up. I'm doing the chemistry badge. And I'm like, you know, I didn't schedule that. It's just, it's on the schedule.
Hey, listen, it's all about balance. I mean, you're like a golfer who buys your wife a putter for Christmas. Okay?
I did that, no.
Yeah, because she's saying, I want to do something besides just this. And,
Right.
and she's doing, you've been a good spirit here, right? Don't you think she's been a good spirit to get into this? But I mean, you gotta give her something back. I mean, take her somewhere she wants to go, somewhere with plumbing. You know, somewhere that she gets to do something she wants to do. And it's okay to leave these knuckleheads at home.
Yes.
Okay, y'all are going to stay at home. You're scouts, right?
That's right.
You can camp out in the den. You guys can go out.
Yes.
I mean, you got to have some balance, and you got to put it back together with her. Because I'll tell you what, they're going to grow up and leave, and then you're going to look over there and say, didn't I used to know you? All right, you got to get some balance in your life. Okay, a couple in this audience has a question for me. Should they get married or should they call it quits? Today I'm taking questions about anything and everything, and I'm heading into the audience. Melissa and Mike want to ask me something. So you guys stand up.
Well, Mike and I have been living together for 5 years, and we have a 4-year-old son. And every time we feel like we're going to that next level, an issue that we thought was resolved comes back up, and we get dead in the water. And we're wondering, at what point do you decide that you've tried this issue enough times, we're going to move on, or can we make it work?
Or can what?
Or can we make it work? We
And
don't
just
know
make
which
it
way
work,
to
mean
go.
like get married?
Get married, yeah.
Okay. Now, see,
We're going to make you work.
you know, well, maybe it's just me, but doesn't this seem kind of backwards? You got a 4-year-old son, you've been together 5 years, and you're trying to decide, should you get married?
Yeah, it was spilt milk, but we're trying to
Wouldn't
make
this
the
have
right
been a good
decision.
thing to think about before you had a 4-year-old son?
We appreciate you stating the obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, well, what's this issue that keeps coming up?
Trust is an issue for us.
Based on our past, I think I'm a little bit older than Melissa. We've been together for 5 years, but prior to that, I was pretty much a social kind of guy, and I had many girlfriends and stuff like that. And I don't think she really truly trusts me yet.
Okay, so the boy's a hound dog. Okay,
Well,
that's your fear. That's
no,
your fear, right?
Actually, that's not so much the fear now. It was before, but now it's like cursing at me during an argument. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I said, that's unacceptable. We've sat down, we've negotiated it, we've talked it out.
Okay.
Well,
now,
it comes up, you know.
now, wait a minute here. Okay, you guys have been having this argument for 5 years, and you get on television and you can't agree what the issue is?
No.
I mean,
No.
does that strike you as
It's
odd? I
basic-
say, what's the issue? You say, well, trust. I used to kind of have a lot of girlfriends and kind of run around. And you say, oh, no, that's really not it. It's how you talk to me
It's
during an argument. How
basically-
can you have this argument for 5 years and not know what it's about? I got stupid on my forehead. do you think she trusts you?
I sort of, but no.
I think that he
I
drinks
just
too
can't
much when he
understand
goes
why y'all
out.
can't come to a conclusion on
Yeah.
anything. You got a tough question on your hands here, because I'm a strong believer that if it takes somebody 5 years to talk themselves into something, it's probably not a real good idea. And interestingly enough, the research suggests that long engagements do not predict good marriages for the same reason. If it takes that long to convince yourself, if you've got to talk yourself and each other into it, maybe there's something wrong with it. But I'll tell you what you do have to do. You got to get real about this and get clear about what it is that's bugging you about the other person and make a decision, because you're burning daylight. If you're not going to stay together, get out now. It ain't going to be any easier at 6 years than it is 5 years. And if you are, grow up and get past these problems and decide we're going to be mature enough to resolve these things and move on. And if you are running around on her, if you are going out and drinking and chasing women, at least be honest about it now before you're married and just say, hey, that's what I want to do. Sorry. That's what I want to do. If that's what you're doing, do it. And if you got problems with this behavior, then negotiate something that you're willing to live with, but make a decision. 5 years is long enough, and I got real concerns about whether you two are even plugged in enough to know what the other one's thinking. So, I guess I'm saying it doesn't look real good to me. I'm just being, you asked me.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm just telling you, if you continue on like you are, you're going to be miserable. So you either got to get it clear or move on. One of the two. But whatever you do, you will forever be common allies of that young man, and don't you dare put him in the middle. Don't you dare let him pick up the tab for the fact that you guys couldn't get it right.
No, we never
Right.
would.
Okay, you guys have all had a chance to ask me some questions. Now it's my turn. One of the things that'll be a regular on this show is something I call, what were they thinking? I always say you either get it or you don't, and some people just don't get it. Now, listen to this. I've always wondered how we're doing out there. Because, you can be here on television, you see people here, you talk to them. So I started nosing around a little bit, and I didn't have to look too far to get some answers. I opened the paper, I read a story about somebody that has chained their daughter to the bed because they don't like who she's dating. I turn the page, there's one in there where a couple duct taped their son to a lawn chair because he had sassed them, and they put him out in the sun for 2.5 hours, and he got severe burns all over his body. I turn the page, family says, don't want my kids doing dope, so we just bring the dope home, and they're all getting stoned every day. And nobody calls to report this, yet there's one guy who made 1,100 calls to 911 in a weekend because he was bored. I mean, are we taking stupid to a higher art form? And we're also getting ruder by the minute. In fact, the rude is turning into rage. We've got air rage, we've got cell rage, we've got checkout rage, we've got bike rage, sports rage, parking rage, rail rage, banker rage, roller rage, boat rage, desk rage, car alarm rage, crutch rage. They're getting mad at people because they're not getting across the crosswalk fast enough. We've got funeral rage. We've had violence in funerals because they're blocking traffic. And what's up with these cell phones? Cell phones at dinner, cell phones in the theater. I have a message, you self-important twits. Turn them off, okay? Turn the phone off. I know that you are so important that you have to be wired up 24/7. That's why you're at a midday matinee of Dude, Where's My Car? Okay? And I'm tired of listening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony as your ringer. And I'm tired of listening to you in a restaurant and watching you talk with your mouth full. If you got to talk to them that bad, go over there and talk to them. And we are getting so rude that the number one danger for women is at work. There's more violence against women than anywhere at work. And you know why people are so mad at work? Because they're getting so mad getting to work. Road rage is our number one problem in traffic in America. So you know what we did in Texas? We passed a law that said they can carry guns. Let's make them mad and arm them. For God's sakes, we have had 250,000 people killed over a 6-year period and 20 million injured because of aggressive driving. Calm down, slow down. Where you got to be so hard that you got to shoot somebody to get there? All I'm asking you is, what the hell are you thinking? Calm down and maybe we'll have a chance. Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here today. We've been answering a lot of questions. I think some of them were kind of strange. Some of them were pretty mainstream, but hopefully you can pull something from each one of them. And if you've got a question for me, then write me, because we'll talk about it. And write me at drphil.com. That's a new website I have called drphil.com. And we do read all of your emails. I don't answer every one of them, but I do have somebody that reads them, and if it's a good one, then they bring it to me, and I look at it, and you can come up here and be part of this, or not. I still want to hear from you. But again, thanks for being here. Start doing some different things, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.